Hello. So this is the backend for the library implementation, where an user can create a book. And user can retrieve all the books that is already present in the library, and can also retrieve a specific book by its ID. And the user can also update the details of the book, like title, author, and summary. And the user can also delete a book from the library. So first, I'll go to the Postman. I will run this API endpoints to see whether it works or not. So first of all, our home route uh, home route will be where all the books that is present in the library will be available. So our home route is get request for all the books that is present in the library. I have hosted this uh, application on render. So this is the deployed link, and this is the home route. So if I hit get request for this particular URL, so I'll get the list of all the books that is present in my database currently. So um, there are currently one, two, three, four books that is present in the library. I can also verify this from MongoDB. This is my database. I can see that there are four books present over here. The second endpoint, API endpoint that comes is getting the book by a particular ID. So if I want to retrieve this particular book, information of this particular book, so I'll copy this ID and I will paste it over, and I will hit get request for this to retrieve this particular book. So if I hit send get request, I'll receive that particular book on. So these are the two API endpoints. API endpoint is for post request. This is for creating the book. So this is our home route, and this is the add book for adding a book. So if I create a book with suppose DSA with C++, writer, I'll write writer over here, and book not to look, I'll remove this, enter in book. So if I send post request to this URL, this book should be added to my database. So if I hit send button, so this book has been added to my database. I can also check whether it has been added or not with DSA with TPP. So if I get request, all the books that are available would come. So I've just added this book DSA with CPP that is visible. So, and I've also done some validations over here in post request. That is, if I if I try to read title empty, so this will not pass the validation check, and will get that at least there should be the title should not be empty. We'll get this warning. So I have an error handling for this. So if I hit post request for this, so it will give us invalid input check pass, check length of each field and try them. So and the same thing happens with author and summary. For summary, I have added a check that character should not be less than 5. So these are the validation I've done, and I can also say that these are the edge cases that can arise, and I have written the code to solve this. So this is done for post request. Also in get request, if you're trying to find a book with ID that doesn't exist. So let's suppose if I want to find book for this particular ID, as it doesn't exist in our database, it should return that a book fetching unsuccessful because this ID was not available. So these three endpoints are done, and I've also covered the edge case for this. The fourth one is patch request, that is update. If I want to assume that update request will be only done by ID. So that is I've also done because it makes sense to update anything using its ID. So if I want to update, let's say if I want to update this particular book DSA with CPP, so I'll copy its ID and I will paste it over here. So I'll try to update with DSA with CPP to writer 2 and enter to book 2. So if with these values we update it, so for this particular ID, things will be updated. This title, author, and summary will be updated. Yeah. So I can see it over here. I can also look it into our database. So this is DSA with CPP has been updated to DSA with CPP2 and writer to an interesting book too. So our patch request works well. I've also added validation like while updating title, author, and summary. These things should not be empty as it was during it was during the post request for creating a book. So similar validations have been done over here. We can also show like for this particular book, we are trying to update title with nothing. So I'll get an error saying that invalid inputs have been passed. So this is the patch request. Also, if I try to update a book that doesn't exist in our database, like this is some ID that doesn't exist in our database, and if I try to update this, I will get a warning. Could not find a book for the given ID. So this works well too. And this is the corner case, edge case of this. That a user is trying to update a book that doesn't exist in our database. The last one is delete request. For delete request, if we are trying to delete a particular book, let's say I'm trying to delete Office, I want to update all the IDs, update all the fields. So if I want to delete this particular book that is D7 CPP2, so I'll go over it. I'll paste this ID over here, and I will hit the delete request book. Delete book. Delete book is the route for this, and this is the dynamic ID. If I hit the delete request, I think I'm having some internet. Yeah, the book has been deleted. I can check for this particular ID in our database, and I will see that that book doesn't exist. So it's like 1 to 4. Previously it was 5. So the with CPP2 doesn't exist anymore. And this also I've covered that edge case where if our user is trying to delete the book that doesn't exist. So let's say this book doesn't exist in our database and we're trying to delete this book. So it will be shown that this ID for any book for this ID doesn't exist in our database. So these are the all 5 endpoints that was told to us. I've made few assumptions that I've already mentioned in the README file, and yeah, so and this is uh, I've deployed the backend on render. So this was the bonus point. So yeah, that's all. Thank you.